Richard Hardisty Jr., a Metis veteran who was born in Fort Victoria in 1871. In his youth, he witnessed the final years of the fur trade and the rise of the Northwest Rebellion of 1885. The Northwest Rebellion was a brutal 5-month-long insurgence against the Canadian government, fought mainly by Métis and First Nations, led by Louis Riel. Hardisty began his military career when he was 14 years old, serving as a scout and dispatch rider for the government troops around the Calgary area. Hundreds lost their lives, and the resistance closed with the trial and execution of Louis Riel. Upon learning of his son's involvement with the government troops, Richard's father sent him away to school in Scotland. At age 19, Hardisty was reunited with his childhood friend, William Griesbaugh. This friendship was destined to become important in the wars to come. The Boer War started with an ultimatum given to the British by the Boer, a people of Dutch and German ancestry who settled in South Africa. The British were trying to gain control of the Witwatersrand gold mining complex, the largest in the world at the time. As a British Commonwealth, Canada was drawn into the war. Hardisty and Griesbaugh both served in the war, Hardisty as a service controller and Griesbaugh as a soldier. The Boer leadership surrendered to the British and signed the Treaty of Vereeniging in 1902. For the next 8 years, the lifelong friends were never far apart. Griesbaugh was promoted to captain of the 19th Alberta Dragoons, with Hardisty as his lieutenant. With the outbreak of the war, William Griesbaugh was commissioned to raise the Edmonton 49th Battalion. The first man to sign up was the newly ranked captain, Richard Hardisty. They sailed together in June on the SS Metagamma, and the 49th Battalion entered France on October 8, 1915. A week later, they were in the trenches. For 6 months, the 49th would find itself holding ground in vulnerable frontline positions, always with Germans looking down from the higher ground. The Messines Ridge in Flanders was considered one of the strongest points on the German line. Here, the 49th sustained regular and mounting casualties. But it was all just a warm-up act. In the spring of 1916, the battalion was redirected 5 kilometers to the north after a major battle in the craters and remnants of trenches caused all hell to break loose. The Ypres salient, a bulge in the Allied front, was a nightmare for the Allies, with the Canadians being surrounded by German trenches on 3 sides. Here, the 49th would remain under constant barrage for the next 4 months. As the numbers of the dead and wounded continued to rise, it was becoming clear the Allied forces would need more men. Major Hardisty was ordered back to Canada to raise his own battalion. After only 8 months in the field, over a quarter of the 49th Battalion was gone. Sending Hardisty back home to raise a battalion proved to be a call well made, and the worst of the war still lay ahead. Hardisty proved to be skilled at training troops for battle. He was given a new order to remain in Calgary in an instructional role and as the head of divisional headquarters in Military District No. 13. From the Sarcee camp in Calgary, he oversaw the organization and training of new battalions until the end of the war. For his efforts in the war, he was awarded the 1914-15 Star, the British War Medal, and the Victory Medal. He retired comfortably in Vancouver, only to again answer his country's call at the outbreak of World War II. At 68 years old, Hardisty helped organize the Veterans Home Guard, a defense force comprised of World War I veterans. He also helped organize meetings and rallies to support the war effort. Richard Hardisty continued to serve his country until his death on July 23, 1943. He was 72 years old. His Canadian military career spanned 58 years. Richard Hardisty Jr. A true Canadian Métis hero.